When Chapman billies leave the streets and drouthy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late and folk begin to tack the gate, as we sit boozing at the nappy, getting foo and unco happy, we think no of the long Scots miles, the waters, mosses, slaps and stiles that lie between us and our hame, where sits your sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brows like gathering storms, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth fund honest Tam o' Shanter, as he ae nicht for air did canter, all dare wham there a tune surpasses for honest men and bonny lasses. O Tam, had thou but been sae wise as ta'en thine wife Kate's advice, she told thee well thou was a skellum, a blethering, blustering, drunken blellum, that frae November till October, market nicht thou wasna sober. The ilka melder with the miller, thou sat as long as thou had siller, that every neg was cawed a shoe on, the smith and thee got roaring foo on. That in the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou sat with Curtin Jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon, thou would be found deep drowned in Doon, or catch with warlocks in the muck, by Alawaz, old haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gars me greet to think how many counsels sweet, how many lengthened sage advices the husband frae the wife despises. But to our tale, market nicht, Tam had got planted, uncorrect, fast by an ingle, blazing finely, with reeman swats that drank divinely, and at his elbow suitor Johnny, his ancient, trusty, drouthy crony. Tam looed him like a very brother. They'd been foo for weeks together. The nicht drave on with songs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with favours secret, sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories. The landlord's laugh was ready chorus. Outside the wind might rear and rustle. Tam didna mind the storm a whistle, as bees flew hame with lades of treasure. The minutes winged their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppy spread. You seize the flower, its bloom is shed. Or like the snowfalls in the river, one moment white, then gone forever. Or like the borealis race that flits ere you can point its place. Or like the rainbow's lovely form, vanishing amidst the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide. The hour approaches, Tam and ride. That hour of night's black heart's the keystone. That dreary hour Tam mounts his beast, and the sick and he tacks the road in. It's ne'er poor sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as 'twould blown its last. The rattling storm rose through the blast. The speedy gleams the darkness swallowed loud, deep and lang. The thunder bellowed. That night, a child might understand. The deil had business on his hand. Well mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam skelpit on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst hurrying fast his good blue bonnet, whilst crooning o'er some old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirkalloway was drawing nigh, where ghasts and hoolits nechtly cry. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snow the chapman smored, and past the birk and meikle stane, where drunken Charlie Brackneck's bane, and through the whins and by the cairn, where hunters fund that murdered bairn, and by the thorn aboon the well, where Mungo's mother hanged hersel. Before him, Doon poured all her floods. The Dublin storms roared through the wood. The lightning flashed from pole to pole, near and more near. The thunder rolled. And then, glimmering through the trees, Kirkalloway seemed in a blaze. Through ilka bores the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou wilt make us scorn. With Tippany we fear no evil, with Uskaby we'll face the devil. The swats say reamed in Tammy's noddle, fair play he cared the deals a boddle. But Maggie stood recht sair astonished, till by the hand and heel admonished she ventured forward, and like wow, Tam saw an unco sicht, witches and warlocks in a dance. Nae cotillion brent you fae France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathspeys and reels put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east. There sat old Nick, in shape a beast, a towsy tyke, black, grim and large. To gie the music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gart them skirl, till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses that showed the dead in their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrip slicht, each in its cold hand held a licht, by which our hero Tam was able to see upon a haly table a murderer's banes and gibbet airns. Twa spanland wee unchristened bairns, a thief new cutted for the rape, with his last gasp his gab did gape. 5 tomahawks with murder crusted, 5 scimitars with blood red rusted, a garter that a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whom his ain son, a life bereft. The grey hairs yet stuck to the heft, and mere a horrible and awful that even to name would be unlawful. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper quick and plicker blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they click it, till Ilga Carlin sweat and reek it. And Cooster durries to the wark, and Linket it in her sark. Oh, Tam. Oh, Tam. Had they been queens, all plump and strapping in their teens, their sarks, instead of creasy flinin, been 1700 snow white linen, their breeks of mine, but only pair, that once were plush o' good blue hair, I would have given them off my hardies for ae blink of the bonny birdies. But withered beldrums, old and droll, ringwoody hags would speen a fall, louping and flinging on a crummock. I wondered did they turn thy stomach. But Tam kent what was what fu brawly. There was ae winsome wench, and Wally, that nicht enlisted in the corps, long after Kent and Carrick shore, for many a beast to dead she shot, and perished many a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and bear, and held the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark, a paisley ham, that whiles a lassie she had worn, in longitude, though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vaunted. Ah, little Kent, her reverent granny, that sark she coughed for her wee nanny, with 12 pund Scots, 'twas all riches, would ever grace the dance o' witches. Now, hear my muse, her wingman cur, sic flights as far beyond her power, to sing how Nanny lap and flang, a supple jade she was and strang, and how Tam stood his ain bewitched, and thought his very ain enriched. Even Satan glowered and fidged fu fain, and hotched and blew wi' micht and main, till first ae caper, syne another, Tam tint his reason altogether, and yelled out, "Well done, cutty sark!" And in an instant all was dark. But scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees bazoot with angry fight, when plundering herds assail their bike, as open pushes mortal foes, when pop she starts before their nose, as eager runs the market crowd, when catch the thief resounds aloud. So Maggie runs, the witches follow, with many an eldritch screech and hollow. O Tam, thou'll get thy faring, in hell they'll roast thee like a herring. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, Kate soon will be a woeful woman. But do thy speedy utmost, Meg, to make the keystone of the brig. There thou at them thy tail may toss, a running stream they darena cross. But ere the keystone she could make, the faint a tail she had to shake, for Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious settle. But little was she Maggie's mettle, a spring brought off her master hale, and left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin clocht her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, who this tale of truth shall read, ilk man or mother son, take heed, if e'er to drink ye are inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind, think ye may buy the joys o'er dear, remember Tam o' Shanter's mare.